should I be more optimistic about Drake Maye than I was with Mac Jones at the end? Like, what is there any comparison to be drawn? Give me your insight, your assessment on Drake Maye here early in the process.
I would say way more optimistic than you were about Mac Jones at the start. At Mac Jones at the start. At the end, I mean, you'd be more optimistic virtually about any quarterback in football. The way he was at the end, he was a broken quarterback.
So wait, you're saying you like Jones better at the beginning?
No, I like Maye better than I did right now than I did Jones at the same time as a rookie.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's got far more skill. I mean, it's not really even close. Like, just the things that physically he has that Mac Jones didn't. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, he's quicker, he's got a better arm. I think they're probably, from what I've seen, similarly in terms of accuracy, but he could just make throws that Mac Jones couldn't, flat out. And he can, and I know it sounds
What about his ability to understand the offense and all that?
We don't know, but I never saw anything that sort of illustrated that for Mac Jones for me either. So.
Even early in his first camp?
No. Like you
so you
guys,
thought
I'm not revisionist here.
Yeah, you weren't pants off for Mac Jones from day one.
I like had a chastity belt on. My pants were so far on. Like I just never saw what everybody else saw as a rookie.
I think people convinced themselves to see.
I saw them
that
play
wasn't
great
there.
defense and keep the game within. And if they had the lead, they generally kept it because they ran the ball and they ran the clock out. That's how they won 10 games. His rookie year.
It might not translate to him being a good pro, but just comparatively speaking, just his demeanor and how he carries himself. How is it different between?
Yeah. I could definitely see this going one of two ways. I think a lot of people will sort of like this guy. He's got sort of a
oh shucks type of thing.
Yeah, he's got like an effervescent energy about him. And, an attitude. Mike and Tony are going to find him to be a goofball and pick at this guy's just like, what is wrong with this guy? He's a goofball. He's absolutely a goofball. I love it, and again, really small doses. We talked to him after OTAs. I think we talked to him during minicamp. We had a chance right after he was drafted. He came on our radio show on Patriots Unfiltered. He just has like an infectious personality about him. He's sort of upbeat about it. He's smiling all the time. We'll see. That can easily get beaten out of a guy once he goes through some adversity and whatnot. But I do think, unlike Mac Jones came into the NFL really not having faced really a lot of football adversity. Drake Maye has. He suffered through a tough year last year at North Carolina after losing a lot of talent and some, the coaching changes and whatnot and things that he had to adjust to. And I think he will be better for it. You always make that argument, Tony. When teams have to fight through adversity, they get tougher and they're more battle-hardened when they get to the playoffs, and they're more dangerous.
Sure.
I think that some of that will hold true for Drake Maye. None of it will matter if he can't play. Like you talk about the cognitive part of it. If he doesn't have that, he's not going to succeed because you can't just go out there as an athlete and play well.
Okay, and based on what you've seen so far, and I recognize no pads, 7-on-7, there's some 11-on-11 there, but again, no pads, nobody's getting hit, none of that is going on. You think that, again, apples to apples, where Drake Maye is at this stage of the process is better than where Mac Jones was to start. The reason I'm surprised, Paul, the way
you say it like that, it's probably pretty similar. Not necessarily. I'm just talking physically.
The tools.
He's so much better.
The tools.
Yeah.
His tools are noticeably better to you.
Right.
Okay, so the reason I sound surprised, if I sound surprised, is that my recollection was, and Murray, you tell me if I'm wrong, but my recollection was that at the beginning, everybody thought, oh, well, with Mac Jones, you could see him that mentally he's way ahead. He's NFL ready. Remember all the stuff coming out of the draft? Yeah. He's the most NFL ready guy coming out of the draft. Maye, to me, feels like the exact opposite, Paul.
I think that's an accurate portrayal of the way both of them were thought of heading into the draft.
Okay, but the physical tools to you are clearly noticeably apparent.
I think they blow him away. Now, again, you guys are right. If Drake Maye can't, like some of the things that we've written a lot about already in the spring were, him calling plays in the huddle, him, getting the verbiage and all that stuff, him being under center, him having his left foot forward in the shotgun. I mean, like really fundamental, rudimentary things that he does not have a lot of experience with at college. So I think you're accurate to say Mac Jones probably entered the league at a higher level developmentally than Drake Maye is. I just think the difference in the skill set is so enormous that it won't matter. That's why I feel better about Maye than I did Jones.
Okay, and then some of those basic things, footwork, under center, which got a lot of attention here early in the process. Give me some assessment. Do you think he's getting better at it?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like there's every day that I watched him, and I didn't see every practice as I normally do because I played a couple golf tournaments during some of these.
Very good. I highly encourage you, Paul.
So I missed a couple of practices, but what I did see, I felt like there was a steady rise. Every time I saw him, and I think probably his best portion was the way they ended minicamp. You know, he had a little success at the end of minicamp and completed some passes. One of them was a really impressive one to Jalen Polk, which is a great sign because those are your first 2 picks. You would like to think that those guys can establish a rapport and you know, be comfortable with each other. But yeah, I do think some of those things you've seen the progress. And what shows me, what I'm really encouraged about is when we first got out there in the spring, he was taking sort of scraps for reps. It was Brissett, and then it was Zappe, and then it was whatever was left. Now Zappe gets whatever's left. And Maye is like Brissett. And Brissett maybe gets 20, and Maye is getting 17, and then whatever's left goes to Zappe. So they obviously felt good enough about his progress that they want to put more on his plate. I took that as a positive sign.
Do you want Maye to play early in the year?
I want him to play when they think he's ready.
Okay.
And
I want something more specific, Paul.
I would like to see him play immediately, but I understand if that's unrealistic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am not a big proponent. I wish Mike was here because we'd probably have a good 45-minute argument about it.
Well, let's have it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like there are too many of these guys like Peyton Manning that have talked about how invaluable it was to get the experience right away for me to think that that's meaningless. You know, and we hear a lot about Patrick Mahomes. Well, he sat his rookie year. I'd make an argument that they cost themselves a Super Bowl because maybe if he didn't sit his rookie year, they would have won the Super Bowl when they lost in overtime to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Just that little more experience. Maybe he doesn't suffer through a tough first half. Maybe some of the things Belichick threw at him in the first half of that game that held him under wraps, maybe he would have been more experienced and better equipped to deal with had he played as a rookie. And by the way, the one game he played as a rookie, he ripped it up.
Do you think they lost that game because of Patrick Mahomes?
No, but I'm saying they did get shut out in the first half. Maybe they don't get shut out in the first half and you win if he had a little more experience.
Yeah, I think they lost that game because they lost the coin toss.
I understand why they ultimately lost the game itself. I'm saying there's no evidence that you can point to that he wouldn't be this great if he didn't sit his rookie year.
But Paul, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that guys who sit the first year do benefit.
Okay.
So again, Mahomes did.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson sat for half the year. Aaron Rodgers sat for multiple years.
Okay, get any
there
more?
are a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Steve Young sat.
Okay, so Steve Young was in the USFL. He didn't sit.
Okay.
He played right away.
But he sat.
And you're also going back 40 years. Like, it's a little bit of a different game now. Like, the Green Bay model.
Jordan Love.
The Green Bay model worked because they had Hall of Fame quarterbacks that were still playing. So you're telling me it would have been better for Jordan Love to sit behind Mac Jones?
Maybe.
Yeah, I just don't buy that.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they would have gone further in the playoffs last year if he didn't sit out all that time and he had more experience.
Would Mac Jones have benefited if he waited another year?
I don't think Mac Jones
and
can
they
play.
Played Cam
I think
Newton?
They could have played Mac Jones anytime and he'd be in the same spot he is right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't underestimate, though, the benefit of some guys waiting. It's a big transition.
To me, it's a case-by-case basis.
And, some guys can handle it.
Some guys can handle it. I just feel like to make a blanket statement that you benefit, period. You benefit from sitting, I don't think is accurate.
Yeah, I don't think this kid's one of those kids. I'm just giving you my 2 cents, Paul. I don't think this kid's one of those kids who's ready to jump in the league when he doesn't know whether to put his left foot or his right foot forward first.
If he's not ready, then that's different. I'm talking about we go through training camp and he's far and away the best quarterback on the Patriots. And you're going to sit him because why? Because it says in the manual that we're going to sit him? I don't like that.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.